What is going on, everybody? I look a little different right now. Why isn't my mouth moving? I don't know. What is happening? Pixelated me is definitely much more sprightly in the face places than I am at the moment. Having just wrapped up adulting for the year. Thank you very much. Happy almost New Year. Good riddance to this turd of a year. But there are still some things that are worth celebrating. And I'm going to go over those today. Some performances, entertainment-wise, obviously, is what I'm speaking of. Films, TV shows, performances, streaming. There's a world that I'm new to. Watching, of course, enjoying games, all of those things. We'll get to that in a few. But oh my gosh, it's almost done. Almost the next year. And it'll be a better one. Oof, let's get to it. Still the pixelated happy boy. It's a good thing. It's a good thing, honestly, because I'm gonna rely on that chipper little facade he's got going there to mask how wiped I am right now. But I'll see if I can get my voice to match his that sprightly little spark he's got. But I can show you around my digs before we jump into things too. As usual, the channel is Chasing Geekdom. Normally, I am out in the world covering comic conventions and theme parks, and as you can see a picture behind me, two of those things actually. To my left, camera right, you've got myself with Ian McDiarmid, aka the Emperor, and it's me and him over there at Star Wars Celebration last year in Chicago. And yeah, half of that picture is missing just because this conversion thing that I'm getting used to for Animal Crossing to get images in is weird, and I don't know if I'm good at it yet. My bestie is on the other side with Ray Park, aka Darth Maul, but it came out a little bit more clearly with just two people. And then there's me with Mickey at Walt Disney World. Over my left shoulder, still camera right or middle, whatever. And then race events like the Star Wars Half Marathon, which is literally what's over my dude's right shoulder there, camera left. That's, believe it or not, that is a picture of the Medal of Yavin to the left, and Disneyland's castle is behind it. My brother was behind me while I was taking that picture because he ran that race with me, and got a picture of me taking a picture of my medal. But that's not here on the wall just because that would be a little too meta. Yeah. This is supposed to be a house in Animal Crossing, but I've decided to make it into a little studio. I got to show you. Okay, that's Epcot over there, over the I can show you around a little bit. So that's Epcot behind me there, and of course I got my little Chasing Geekdom emblems. Yes, over here we've got some VIP ropes, and you're not going in there. But I got to show you. Hold on. Let's. I'm gonna show you all my friends. Hold on. Let's spin this around. Let's move the camera around. Look at all my friends. Look at it's my friends. Look at them. They're so proud of me and things. But someday, actually, in this game, you can invite people to your island. So I'll actually have to connect with some people who play this game and stuff. That would be a good idea. But man, I jumped into this Animal Crossing game, and I thought, because I saw someone do a talk show, basically an interview show, in a house that they built, and I was like, I want that. And I'm happy with what I have so far. I usually, where that light is to my guy's right, there's a bench, which someday hopefully I'm going to get some people into interview. I kind of want to get people who usually post panels, you know, like at conventions and stuff in there to kind of flip the script on them. It's kind of my first idea, is to get someone in there. But anyways, that bench is being used for tonight's streams elsewhere, and I'll show you that sometime. This is just going to be a nice casual, there were actually good things this year kind of stream. A little hat. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, that's the spot. Let's pretend that I am a guest. Oh yeah. I don't know why he's sitting on the edge of the pink chair, but like, he thought I was funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Thanks, bro. You're welcome. Yeah. Anywho, instead of just telling you what I'm usually doing out in the world, let's pop myself back in my hosting position here. I will show you one quick little trip through my previous shenanigans that I was up to in the last few years, that I'm hoping to get up to again next year sometime, hopefully. Let's get this world, this country in particular, healed, and get us back out there doing our things. But this is 1.5 minutes of shenanigans that previously up to out in the world, and we'll be right back. Yeah, so hopefully a little more of that coming at you next year and beyond. I'm thinking, I know I'm in the back of the line for that vaccine or whatever. And relatively young, I guess. No underlying issues, whatever. That's fine. Fall, I'm thinking. I'm hoping. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, so let's jump in. It's interesting because I'm usually with my faves lists. I'm usually doing. I started out as tweets, and then because with tweets you can do 4 images. I would have my categories, and I would have 4 entries from each category. 10 is way too easy, like performances in a year, or movies in a year, or whatever it is, whatever the list. 10 is, that's a joke. Like, you're not even trying. If you're trying to whittle down like favorites or like and make an argument for why or whatever. I don't do best of, because that's like, this is all subjective. I'm not going to say what I think is best, but so I'd stick with 4, and then it kind of segued into writing an article, but I just tried to stick with 4. But since I now have a little bit more room, I did 5, mainly because I thought there was one category, and that's in streaming, that I thought deserved more than 4, and because it was such a big world for me to jump into, and gaming and all that stuff. So I expanded all to 5. So we've got, where's my list? So games, of course, that's new for me this year. Streaming, so streamers or let's just call it streamers. Favorite TV shows, favorite films, favorite film performances, and favorite TV show performances. And I'm gonna start off. Let's hop out into the end of the world, into my little island. Now, I'm new to this game. It's like, maybe 2 months or less. I've done a lot of giving out of things so that I could get more neighbors, and then I went and I stole those things back so that I could sell them, so that I could get inclines. And now I'm at a point now where I'm happy to show it around. Last time I streamed this, it was brand new and I was living in a tent, so I have this other room, but I'm not going to show you. It's not finished yet. It's VIP though. It's VIP. And you all are very VIP, but that's redundant. Whatever. But anyways, yeah, let's go outside. And since it mimics, the game mimics this time zone you're in, it's going to be like where I am in Central. So sun's down. Get out of my yard. I swear, this game, I have opinions, and I'm mostly kidding, but that's my house. I, planted some flowers, put some torches in. They bring you to this, if you've never played it, they bring you to this island, and they're like, oh yeah, bro, you got like deserted island, and yeah, island living, and you're like, cool. And then you get there and they're like, by the way, after you're there, here are a couple neighbors and you need to invite more. And it's like, get out of my shot, get out of my shot, get out of my shot. Get out, you were hey, get out, beat it. I'm in the middle of a broadcast. Oh my gosh, where's my embarrassed face? Encouraging, please. Sadness. It doesn't really. Okay. Oh, thank you for. Okay, at least she's like watering my plants. Anyways. Oh my gosh, this camera hog! I swear. Beat it. She's really just living that. Okay. All right, she's gone for now. Okay. They bring you, this is why. So they bring you there and they're like, here's your neighbors. You have to build them houses. So I'm like, cool. And I built them houses. Look, lady, get out of my shot. Get out of my shot. Busy. Okay. So, and then you have to to get like more stuff, and you have to bring more people because you have to, I don't even know. It's a whole thing. But anyways, what's nice about it is that if you talk to them once, they're like, hey, cool. And then if you try to talk to them again too soon, they're like, didn't I just talk to you? So it's a very, very passive aggressive bunch of people. Yeah. And then I'll introduce you to some other people, but we're going to start with films, I think, and then film performances. This lady, she's terrible. She's the one that like rates your island, and she does it with a smile on her face, and you're like, she's like, oh, your island's a 1 out of 4, but she does it all chipper, and you're like, just get out of here. Anyhow, yeah, let's hop over and check out some films, right? Oh, wait, let me get my light stick out. They gave me a light stick. Oh wait, I didn't do it this way. Nope, this way. Still learning. Yeah, look at that. I'm celebrating with the light stick. Alright, don't look at those steins. Those are a different category. See, I stole stuff so I could build these inclines. Yeah. I think films are here. Yes, let's start with films. Alright, I'm going to jump into first category. He's going to... Oh my gosh, look at it. He's happy. I found a thing. Yeah, so let's just start it off, right? Hamilton. I mean... Is the music too loud? Might be in my ears, I can't tell. So, it's films this year. Don't get me wrong, I loved all of these films. They were all fantastic, and that's why they're on the list. I didn't see this. It's hard to say, like, does it mean for me to say it was a weaker category for me this year, because they are great films. A few snuck in that weren't, what word, films. I mean, like, because, you know, Hamilton was a play that was filmed. And there's another one that's a documentary. So they snuck in. I honestly think they would have been strong contenders in any other year, because, like, I mean, look at last year, it was Parasite. That was a big year for films. But I am not a big musical theater fan, and I don't love hype. I'm very allergic to hype, and that both of those things together kept me from ever even looking at clips. It was impossible to see this as a play anyways. Yay. But I'm so glad I watched it when it came to Disney Plus, because it's so great. Highlights, I mean, Daveed Diggs and Philippa Sue, and I like Lin-Manuel and what a thing he made, but performance-wise, I loved some of the others more. He's great, don't get me wrong. And the guy that played King George, all of it, just so very moving. I'm really glad that I ended up changing my mind, and like, I mean, I don't know if I would have sought it out, but because Disney Plus put it like in my face, I'm like, all right, I'll give it a go, and then boom, just kind of blew me away. Yeah, too good. But I'll be able to talk about it a little bit more later, because a few of the performances in my faves, spoiler, are from that film. This is someone's house. I don't care if I'm too loud. I'm busy. Don't come outside. Okay. I don't know. Let's see if anyone can recognize that. So it was a documentary, and it's on. Oh boy. Is it on the HBO Max? Maybe. But it's called Class Action Park. If you haven't seen it, and you're able to do like a free trial of HBO Max, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I should do my research, but I'm tired. It was a water park. It's a documentary about a water park in Jersey in the 80s. So they had a lot of, like, you know, comedians and actors from New Jersey, like, talk about their experiences as a kid at this park. And it was like basically the Wild West. It was like a water park, and that was a water slide with a loop that you go through, and it ended up you go upside down and whatever. And one of the craziest things is that when they were testing it out, they had to, like, if you were too heavy, you'd get stuck. If you were too light and small, you'd hit the top. And I guess the ladder, like when you're hitting the top, they had to put a little cushion, and so they would cushion the blow. But when they went in there to do some adjustments, they found teeth. Not teeth marks, but teeth in it. But anyways, it was this whole little long journey, this legacy of, like, that park and all the lawsuits and people dying, and the guy, I can't remember the guy's name who ran it. That was fascinating. Definitely easily would have been in, I think, the top, I don't know if it would have been top 4 in a stronger year, like, as far as, and I'm not saying just stronger year film wise. I know there are films out there I didn't see because I spent so much time in games and the streaming world this year that and the time I would have dedicated to seeing more films and even TV shows, honestly. But definitely worth being in the top this year. All right, let's look at this guy here. See if I can position camera good. Soul. This thing, like, again, this is a whole, like, very allergic to hype, and Disney Plus does too much. They bludgeon you over the head, and sometimes when I see that from, it's a different kind of hype too, because, like, the Hamilton hype was from theater buffs, and I'm like, ugh, like, no offense. I love it. I guess I would probably prefer theater in person, but you know, St. Louis, so yeah, somewhere someone is really mad who's a theater buff in St. Louis, but I mean, come on. I saw Empire Strikes Back with the symphony, so I saw a live thing, but it wasn't, anyway, doesn't count. But Soul, because it, you know, it's like they're like, oh yeah, check it, and they're really bludgeoning you with it. It's like, oh, is it because it's not good? Like, is word of mouth not going to get you there? But that wasn't the case. It's definitely going to be in my top 10 Disney movies of all time, including if you factor in Pixar. I'm not sure where it's going to rank in my Pixar stuff, but I like it. I think it's got soul. I mean, it really does have soul. It's a beautiful, wonderful film. It's, yeah, I think the heart in it I like better than that In and Out film. I think it's a little bit more of a grown-up picture. Yeah, I said it, picture. Yeah, anyways, moving on. Really, really, really good. But I can meander and talk about things because I'm going to be here a little while. Let's walk slow to the next one. Look at it's Hank's face, believe it or not. So these images are very difficult to transfer, but I think you can kind of tell that that's Tom Hanks, right? Yeah, ish. Pretty sure. Yeah. Let's give. I should have been doing this the whole time. Good job. Oh, that looks weird with the light stick. Looks like he's punching himself in the chin. Yeah, I know you're proud of yourself and your little stick there. Let's do this one. Okay, good job, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks and Greyhound. It's one of the few films. I didn't see many films this year, and new films because it was dry. I went through all the lists, and again, I spent time doing other things, and I want to see the one with Steve Yeun, formerly of The Walking Dead, that he made. I don't know the name of it. It starts with an M, I think. Came out late in the year, but it just wasn't time by the time I had heard about it. So I know these are just like my favorites of what I have seen. Again, not saying these are the best of what came out. Although I think arguably so far, yeah, they're very good. Greyhound was like if the Pacific was the follow-up to Band of Brothers. So if the Pacific was an arcade game and it focused on, so basically, but it was on the other side of, it was on the other ocean, but still, it was these ships that during World War II, right? Pretty sure. And they were doing supply runs across the Atlantic, and then the Greyhound was one of these like convoy, like they protected those convoys, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's intense the whole time. It's great. And I was very surprised. Apple TV, I believe, who crushed this year. And hey, should I get that? Let's get that. All right, let's get my slingshot out. Look at that, I'm video gaming, actually, instead of just... Hey, I missed. Hey. Where is it, sucker? There we go. What'd I get? Bicycle helmet. I'm good, dude. And my light stick back, come on. Time to party. Anyways, that was that's an intense and fun movie. What do we have now? Oh yeah, so it's when I made my resolutions last year, one of them was, and I put it in an article on my website, chasinggeekdom.com, by the way. I don't write much right now. I don't know, there's not a lot to post. I'm often inspired by my out and about shenanigans, and this year obviously was a giant turd for that. But anyways, one of my resolutions was 0 films in theaters, because human beings are the worst at going to movies, like behavior wise, impossible. Like I got to the point where it was just I could not enjoy myself, because I used to go a lot, and then when you do something a lot, then you generate those peeves, and I just couldn't anymore. I think I ended up rewatching the new Star Wars because I was down with my brother and the nephew and the sister-in-law, and nephew wanted to see it. And I'm not going to say no to that. So I think that I still kept my resolution, because, I mean, pandemic helped. So I don't think that I wouldn't have been out in the theaters watching things anyways. But yeah, I think the releases did get slowed down. As you see, you can tell Wonder Woman is not in here because it was okay. But it was so heavy-handed and kind of like, I don't know, it was okay. There were a few really great moments, but anyways, this one right in front of me here, we can get to the one that I did like. It was on Hulu, called Palm Springs. Andy Samberg and, oh boy, I can't remember her name, and I always butcher it when I try to say it. The mother from How I Met Your Mother that you meet in the last season. It's, I don't want to spoil it. They meet at a wedding, like a destination wedding in Palm Springs, and it's like really twisted, messed up, funny, but crazy Groundhog's Day kind of film. Really fun though, and it was interesting to see him kind of in a break from Peralta from boy, brain is broken. Yeah, thanks bud. Yeah, that's pumped me up. Juice, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, thank you very much. But anywho, that's films for my faves from this year. I like maybe he's beating his chest instead of clapping. Yeah, anyways, that's weird. Let's move on. But yeah, let's continue on the little film train, I think. I like the apples on it. I saw somebody with a literal money tree. They walked up, and instead of like the apples hanging there were bags of money, and it was like 10,000. I think they're bells in this game, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, where am I going? I think I have movies here. That's a seashell. Welcome. Oh, that's cheating. There's a few that came out. Okay, so here's films. Yeah. We're gonna start this guy here. I'm gonna see if I think I did a pretty good job of. So this is Hamilton. Daveed Diggs. Oh my gosh, this dude. He's insanely talented. He's in another show I love from this year as well, but I'll get to that one later. He plays 2 roles in this. I don't remember the name, like the characters. Yeah, my brain for details and trivia is terrible. That's why other people remember my life for me. But holy cow, he's insane. Second favorite from that film. My first favorite, I'll show you in a minute. Oof, yeah, he's it's interesting about being able to write an article about favorites, or do a tweet or whatever, because you can manufacture the same enthusiasm and kind of reaction that you had when you first saw it. So I'm glad I got my dude's face here, who's like, he looks happy. And why I'm not doing it on camera, because it's like Like, dude, did you really love it? Because your face says otherwise. Yeah. That's why I've got my dude here, and he can do his next to David here, and he can give his little like, see, I mean it, right? Oh my gosh. And then like when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, like that, right? Yeah, I was shocked at how good it was. Like that, yeah. Anyway. Yeah. David, so talented. Yeah. I think I got the right picture there to use in an image that you can't really see very well. That like pink-ish coat that he had there. But moving on. Hey, what's going on out here? Should I pick up a seashell? Why not? Here we go. Don't worry, fish. I'm not fishing for you tonight. Jamie Foxx, of course. Where am I? Jamie Foxx in oh, that's too many pictures. Okay, we'll just move it here. Wait, here. How about I go here? Is that gonna block them all? See, you can still see everyone. Okay, we'll leave it there. I think you can tell that's Jamie. As Jamie... Oh wait, no, I can't spoil things. Anyways, yeah, I forget. You forget that it's him when you're watching this film. It's from Soul, by the way, if you can't tell from this image. That's the picture of the piano teacher and then Cat. I won't go into that further if you haven't seen it already. Yeah, he was. You forget it's him. I mean, it's of course, you're watching an animated picture and all, but you don't really get that hint of anything. That's it was a role that he do. Baby Driver, right? The Edgar Wright film, where like the character they gave him was like seemingly like you could tell probably written as kind of cliche bad guy, kind of hardcore whatever, but only someone like him, Oscar winner, like caliber performer, took that and just like made it the best thing about the film. Probably anyone else would have been forgettable, but anyways, in Soul, he's just so great, and really brings you into this character, and like it's just very heartwarming. Okay, let's go this way. We got Hank's face again. I already talked about that film, Greyhound. Really great, and he's just. It's not. I mean, there's a lot of people on that boat he's on, but it's not an ensemble. It's all very, very hyper focused on him. And his Hanks, man. I mean, he's just great. And there's his face, believe it or not. Good old Hanks. Good job, buddy. That's for you. I think that's a little less awkward than. Can I get light on his face? Yeah. Moving on. Now this one, I actually hope she looks like a clown in this picture. I'm so sorry. Oh, that's a terrible, terrible image. But I mean, to be fair, in the film, she wasn't trying to look so hot anyways. Yeah, I had it all written down, but I have it in the wrong thing, so I'm gonna IMDb it real quick. Let's see. Where's she at? She's from Borat. She played his daughter in this subsequent movie film. There it is, Maria Bakalova. And it's like, as soon as everybody started seeing the film, everybody's like, she needs to be nominated for an Oscar. And especially I would say the first half of that film. This is a scene in like, she's in a car, I think, with this one woman who was like hired to babysit her, even though like I think her character was supposed to be 15, 16 or something, and they were making her look older. Yeah, but she is phenomenal. If you can, even like if you're not a fan of his films, with the Borat stuff or whatever, at least just watch the first half of the film. At least just for her, you see her like, just incredible. But my favorite, this image actually came out pretty good in the transfer. So if you're a fan of Hamilton, where am I at? There we go. Philippa Sue as Eliza Hamilton in Hamilton. Oh my gosh. Like, there's just something about, because you could tell as an actor, very, very, very connected to the heartbreak, the love that she feels, the heartbreak that she feels, like all the things, because it's like he, through that film puts her through the ringer. I mean, and it's just so tangible. And singing voice aside, I mean, it's very, I don't know what a better word there would be than tangible, but then there's the voice, and she's able to do that like thing that very few can do, where it's almost like singing through talking. I know they do a lot of that in that film, but she is the master of it. And yeah, I don't think in a performance like that, like a musical, been moved in that way. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even just for her performance, but everything else, of course, in Hamilton. It's on Disney Plus, if you didn't already know. But yeah, just phenomenal. Yeah, can't be overstated. But yeah, let's see. My awkward clapping again. Favorite performances in films this year. Good things did happen this year. It's just, they happened on screens and such. Yeah. So that's films overall. So let's move on. I think do this side of the island first. So I might go to games, and then we'll do TV shows and streaming. Yeah. Yeah, let's go have a little walk and go check out my favorite games. Mix it up a little bit. Yeah. You can see my little pathways. Yes, they're made of dirt, okay? All these Animal Crossing savants out there. I'm new, but I have inclines. Look at that. I stole things. And Toy Day, I exchanged pieces of wood and got way better things, and then I went and sold those way better things and paid for my inclines. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a little water fountain. Let's have a drink. Thank you. Okay. Little pathway. Okay. Yeah, we can start. We can start with some asphalt. So I love driving games. And I've been on only the Switch for a while. I now have a decent PC. I'm very sorry about that. A decent PC, so I can, probably get myself a nice, I guess, more filled out racing game. But there's something about this Asphalt 9, and the thing I like about it is it's beautiful, and you really get a sense, even if I'm playing it on a TV with the Switch, you really get a sense of the speed. So fast, and it's more arcadey than it is like a sim. So like you're not having realistic, fully like reactions to drifting and all of those things. I've seen some of those simulators, watch people play games that are very hyper realistic, and and I would not. Oh, thank you. Like, I want it to look real and look amazing, but I don't want it to like act real. This one though ended up on I think my top 5 games on the Switch this year that I've played, volume wise, like time wise. It's one that I'd like if I was playing Fortnite and lost a game and was really upset. I'm like, I'm over it. I gotta go. And I would hop onto Asphalt, and it was like an instant pick me up, which was cool. Even if I didn't win, there's just something about it. Love that game. I have VR now, so I'm gonna get a driving game that I can actually play in VR, and but again, something that's not necessarily realistic with controls and stuff. I don't need that. I don't need that business. But what's next? Oh, believe it or not, this is a terrible picture, but the game that came in second of time played was this game that I'm playing right now, Animal Crossing. This is an image from that. It did not translate well, but that's fine because we're actually in the game, so you can see what this game looks like right now. It's like this. So I think the reason why I've only been playing it for a few months, and the reason why it came in time-wise runner up to Fortnite, which I played more than anything this year, is because I would just have it on my little Switch handheld next to my desk work computer. So if there was ever a lull, I would even just keep it on. And so the game was on whether I'm playing it or not, and he's just standing there like this. And then when there was ever a lull and I needed to kind of get my think on, I just like grab my watering can and go water some flowers, be like, okay, a little break from monotony. Should I catch that butterfly? Do I care? Why not? This is Animal Crossing. There you go, he caught a thing. Yeah. Alright. Light stick back. It's a terrible picture, but it's abstract, right? Yeah, moving on. And oh yeah, here we go. It's another one that I played a fair amount of. Very relaxing. So Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. If you know the image of Tony like doing his grabby thingy. I'm really good at skate terminology. Never been one for vernacular of any sort, honestly. It always seems so. I think the exclusivity factor keeps me from engaging in that sort of thing too much, just because I don't want to be a barrier. I don't want that to be a barrier for anyone else like participating or in anything. Anyway, but yeah, Tony Hawk, so much fun. This skateboarding was always a nice escape. It was a lot of fun in childhood. I wasn't trying to escape in anything in childhood or even in early adulthood. It was just like there was still something about, I think when I was young, skating was like, as an adult, hitting the open road would be. And the sounds and all the things that come along with it, they really capture well in that game. So it's nice. I don't get heavily competitive. I did try yesterday, or whenever that last stream was, to find an online mode. I could not do it. Could not find a way to play against other people, which I guess, hey, maybe it's for the best. But Tony Hawk. Wait, hold on. Good job. Yeah, good job. Okay, one more time. Yeah, good job. Okay, let's move on. What is... Oh yeah, we're gonna go over here. I think if you've... No games. We know this little guy. Okay, Fall Guys. I watched people play this game. So and I told myself, I downloaded them, I'm gonna try this out, and it is maddening. It is hard. I will stream it more, but I'll get to why, because I'm like, there are some of my favorite streamers play it, and I like watching, and I told myself, if I play too much, it'll get its hooks in me, and I'm not gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna let that happen. Not gonna let that happen. And it happened. And I think it happened because I got the new PC and was playing it there and got a little hooked. And then in VR, it's not a VR game, but there you can have this little like theater in VR, and then suddenly you're playing Fall Guys on a screen that's essentially the size of your wall, or bigger if you want. And I got a little addicted to that. Have not won a crown. I've played maybe 10 times, but I can tell, well, a dozen, but I can tell, like, yeah, I'm improving. I think that I had a little bit of an advantage mechanics wise, just because a lifetime of playing Nintendo, Super Mario, plus a lot of Fortnite, and Fortnite where you're manipulating the camera with one of the sticks a lot to help in the game. I think those two together. So I've gotten to some crown rounds, but I haven't, like, obviously won one. I don't think I would win a crown unless it was one of those real straightforward ones, like I don't know the name of it. Is it a fruit shoot one? One of those that you're just basically racing to the top. Otherwise, the hex and the ice one and all that, if you know the game, you know what I'm talking about, are just impossible. But I've never gotten through Slime Climb, but I have done okay on some of the newer wintry rounds. But anyway, moving on. And then this one, good, I did some gardening today, like my flowers. Yeah, I have to go slow because if you run too fast to them, the petals come off, and that does not make me happy. Don't love it. All right, let's go here. Don't look back there. That was a sad place back there. Glad the moon is not shining on it. Okay, so Star Wars Squadrons. I already loved it. I did my Halloween stream in Stormtrooper helmet and had my mic built into it and was TK411 or whatever it was, and I was like, it's amazing. I love it. It's so much fun. And yeah, it's on a lot of platforms. I don't know which ones. I should know this, but I play it, on PC, and then I got it. Oh my gosh, I stumbled into, by accident, learning that you could literally play it in VR, virtual reality, if you don't know what that means. So my new VR headset, I failed at getting a PS5 and Xbox over and over again like a friggin' clown. So I spent that money on a VR headset. I got the Oculus Rift S because I wanted it, something that had been around a little longer, and also that plugged into the PC so that more power, I think, better graphics than the wireless, a little more reliable. And yeah, but one of the greatest, probably the greatest video game experience of my life, and I've been playing games since I was, since the 80s, was this stumbling into Star Wars Squadrons in VR. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So like, if you've played the game and you've got that view of the point of view of the guy who's flying it, it's pretty static though. You can't really look around. There's one kind of button, I think, combination you can push that unlocks the guy, so you can somewhat vaguely look left and right. But when you're in VR, you're literally in that cockpit, and you can lean forward and like look around, and it's so, yeah, I know I'm a VR noob and all, but holy cow, that was insane. It was just incredible. But it is also a lot of fun on a screen. Totally worth it. So the game that I played time-wise the most this year, not on the list. sorry, Fortnite, but you can't suck for 6 months out of a year. You did redeem yourself. The game is in a great place right now. It's back to its own storytelling instead of Marvel vomit. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Chasing Geekdom, you can see the little Han Solo on the bottom right of the screen there with the Captain America shield. I'm all about geeky stuff, but I can get my Marvel on Disney Plus and at theme parks. I don't need it in a video game that already has its own storytelling and lore that I like. But yeah, you can't. This year is what started that second chapter of the game, and it was cool in the beginning. Probably good. The first chapter, second one wasn't my bag. Didn't love it super a whole lot. That's not their fault. I think it was well executed. But then the season with the Marauders, trash. Because I mean, competitively, come on, like people were competing in that game for money in competitions and stuff, and these non-player characters were coming in and wiping out most of the field, and then also still around. And when there's 5 players left, I mean, it was just unbelievable. And I couldn't. I gave up. And then that Marvel thing happened, and it wasn't just that they gave up their own storytelling, which was so great, that they also just overpowered everything. And yeah, no, it was unplayable for 6 months. And yeah, I think this next year should be better. Moving on. Let's go to TV shows. Where's TV shows at? It's not upstairs. I think I don't want to do any spoilers on other stuff. Yeah. You guys want to see my campsite? Check it. Look at that. Yeah. This is my latest little ramp. Yay. Yeah. Yay. Okay. Let's not go in there and bother anyone. I'm gonna start. Let's start here. So TV shows this year. This is one of the better pictures that came out. Oh wait, those are spoilers back there. Oh crap. I gotta. There's one drawback to Animal Crossing is the camera maneuverability. Devs, DEVS, and Nick Offerman, right? That's his name. Megan Mullally's husband. Devs was on Hulu. Real dark, thinky, mindy. What word am I looking for? Sci-fi. It was great. It was great. If I had pen and paper in front of me, or a tweet or a keyboard or whatever, I could manufacture the right looking enthusiasm and the right words, but I'm saying these things through my post-work mush brainness. So Allison Pill did a fantastic job in that. All of them. It's gritty. It's not gritty in like a gritty world, but it's gritty in what happens. It's if I can pull up a synopsis that's like does it justice. Devs. That's easy to spell. Computer engineer investigates the secretive development division in her company, which she believes is behind the disappearance of her boyfriend. Yeah, that's spoiler, I guess, for like episode 1, but and takes place in the Bay Area where I'm from. Yeah, yay. And they basically set it south of San Francisco, like the campus for this company, and all very familiar stomping ground, kind of, I'd say north of Redwood City. between 280 and 101, like, because they run kind of parallel. You know what I'm talking about. And if you're in LA and you're listening if you do go up north to the Bay Area, take the off of all of the freeways. So we don't say that there. Anyways, moving on. Great show. Very much love. And then, let's see, that's one. Oh, here we go. We'll come to you later. Let's go over to Central Park. Yeah. Here we go. So Apple TV did a great job in a lot of shows. Don't look over my guy's shoulder there because there's another one behind him. But Central Park was just a perfectly timed, perfectly executed ray of sunshine, I think. Josh Gad is the lead. And this is the other show that I was mentioning that Daveed Diggs is in. Another person from Hamilton, Leslie Odom Jr. is in it as well. And he's like the lead guy. Just a great musical animated show. Again, I'm not never been huge into musicals, but maybe it's just because, they haven't been made in a way that I wanted to ingest them. It's super funny. The one song that I love the most, I'm not going to sing, but just the title alone, Weirdos Make Great Superheroes. I think that's it. Yeah, pretty sure that's it. True story. And next up on the Apple TV Ray of Sunshine, friggin' Apple TV Plus train. Whoa, don't kill the plants. Don't kill the plants. There we go. Ted Lasso. Oh my gosh. I don't even know why I watched this. I think I jumped into Apple TV Plus or Apple TV for another show that I'm going to talk about after this one. And then once I got there, it was like, oh, we recommend this and this. And I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. I needed new things. And then every time I was like, holy cow, I think Greyhound, that film, was on Apple TV as well. This show is, so it's about, if you don't know, a American football coach, played by Jason Sudeikis, who's Ted Lasso. He's had success, like, bringing American football teams from being mediocre or bad to greatness. And there's a soccer, but football team in England who needs a coach, and he's brought in the woman who's taken over the team isn't entirely on the up and up as far as wanting the team to win, kind of like a major league thing, but she brings him in, and his second-hand Coach Beard, and Nate the Great, and all of them. Just, it's such a great, wonderful show. Very heartwarming, but like not in a cheesy way. But the energy that Sudeikis brings to that character, holy cow! I'm sure he slept like a mofo after every shoot day. Yeah. So good job, y'all. Moving on. Last in the Apple TV train here. Let's see if I can. There we go. This is the first one I watched, Mythic Quest. And I got some fireworks outside. That's cool. Yeah, so this show, so the dude from, okay, I got a damsel fly in my way. Get out of my shop, bro. And the guy from Sunny in Philly, who actually just bought a soccer team in Europe with Ryan Reynolds, by the way. Speaking of soccer and such, let's find this Mythic Quest. Rob, I should know this. So Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet is the subtitle. But yeah, Rob McElhaney. Everybody in that show was just so great. I'll get to one of them later. And I'm just like scrolling through the cast, and it's just so great. But it's so the owner of a successful video game design company and his troubled staff struggle to keep their hit game Mythic Quest on top. But yeah, it is. It's so funny, so well done. There, you know how some shows that are like have stinker episodes. It's more often, or too often, I think nowadays. It's in shows with short runs too, because you think like, okay, American TV kept trying to do 24 episode seasons, and it's like, well, if you stretch it that long, I know you're getting your ad money and all, but you're gonna have a handful of kind of stinker tosser kind of episodes. But if you shorten them, make 10 episodes or whatever, you're gonna have the cream of the crop. But this truly is. And shout out, because he's not in the top performances of the year, but overall, but there's a kid in this show who plays a streamer called PewDiePie. Pootie Shoe, not PewDiePie, because PewDiePie's the real guy. Yeah, and he's an older gentleman in Europe somewhere. Hey, look, I should shoot that. But Pootie Shoe, I don't know if they were trying to riff on his name, but it's a kid. And they all want this kid to be like, to play their game because he's so popular, and it brings up the okay, I can't let the thing go by. I'm gonna see if I can make it go in the water, because that's funny. All right. Nope, this. And there we go. Yep, exactly. I don't deserve it. So fun fact, if those things go in the water, you can't get them. Pootie Shoe, I think is his name. Anyway, so it's, you know, he does a great job. It's funny, is like when he basically, most of the show is just his on-screen, like on-stream persona. But then there is a scene with Rob, the main guy from the show. He and this kid meet up in a diner, and I can't say why if you haven't seen it, but this kid's performance in that scene was insane. Like, he went toe to toe, and I mean dramatically. I mean, it's funny, but it's also very dramatic. And that kid went some places that I was very impressed. He's really, really good. Because you'd think like, okay, they got him to be that one note little like pain in the ass little streamer kid, but then like I would imagine they auditioned him that role in the scene in the diner, because they have to make sure that he's able to do that. It's so good. Definitely recommend it. That's 4, right? Yeah, devs, and I do the thing. And do you guys like my landscaping? Flowers in. And wherever you put flowers, it more try to grow. And I'm like, I didn't tell you to grow there. I just want little rows by my waterfall. Anyway, moving on. And believe it or not, that is Grogu. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I could have found a better picture, but that's him chilling. Mandalorian. I'm surprised that they're on the list. Oh my gosh, he's getting photobombed by someone. Let's I'll keep that away. Sorry. We'll save that for later. I'm surprised the Mandalorian's on the list, because the first 2 episodes kind of, firstly, weren't my jam. I'm not saying they weren't well executed, but like with Star Wars, I've never enjoyed creatures so much in like the filmed things. Some of the stuff in like Rebels I liked, because they were like the wolves and this kind of thing, but like kind of gross creatures. And I'm over Tatooine. We've been there, we've done that. You know, it's fine, but you know, it's dusty. It's earth tone. It's blah. I'm over it. So it wasn't my jam. You know, like there were some good things about it, you know, and all, but I was just, you know, the beginning. And then I kept seeing spoilers and things about, not spoilers, but like oh, what, they're going to introduce this character and that character, and they're going to start tying the Mandalorian into all this other stuff that's already been. I already liked the first season because of how it played in a familiar sandbox, but it had its own story. It had its own thing, its own characters, and they were great. And suddenly they were like, oh, by the way, we're going to bring in blah blah. Okay. When I finally came back to it, I was happy that, okay, yes, they did a phenomenal job with that. And I'm happy that you could tell they're kind of it was kind of a springboard to kind of have these other shows that are going to be introduced, like the Boba one, and spoilers, but that's out there in the world. If you're watching a video game stream and don't know, Boba Fett didn't die in the Sarlacc pit, then I don't know what you're doing here. Yeah, so anyways, spoilers, but you know, send me hate mail, chasinggeekdom@gmail.com. But for real, yeah, load it up. Nah, I'll just block you, or I'll just send you back weird memes of whatever. So, yeah, they did a great job. And then that last episode, shout out to Bill Burr as Mayfeld. Like, you never would have thought that comedian, did it again, would have been as good dramatically as he is. He was great in that role. I don't think very many could take on that role in the Star Wars universe and have it feel natural in the Star Wars universe. Like, it's kind of a tall order, and he did a great job. And then there's that scene when he's kind of brought back together with his old Empire cohorts, and that he goes dark, and it's so real. I loved that. But anyway, good job. That's my lightsaber. Yeah, that's what they sound like. Lightsabers. Hiya. Oh, I could hold it down and look at him go. Damselfly wants some. Okay. So good job, TV shows. Yay. What's next? Oh, TV performances. Last up will be the streaming stuff, just because it's the most important to me this year. Oh, wait, no, this way. Almost spoiled. Hello, campsite. No one's there. Oh, you guys get to see the little rose garden I made. This is the stuff that I tend to when I'm like trying to break my mind away from work stuff while I'm working so that I can be more efficient. What the heck? 2 of my patterns are gone. Oh, you kidding me? 3 of them? Dude. Oh, I'm so sad right now. Okay, that's fine. I think I know what happened, because like when you go in here, I erased things in here so that I can make room for others. I didn't realize that was going to erase the actual like paintings that I had out here. Oh shit. That's such a bummer. Well, live and learn. It's live, right? So I can't really change it. So over here, believe it or not, it's a Ted Lasso, Night the Great, played by, hold on. I can get this. I think it's Nick Mohammed, Ted Lasso. Oh, that's a bummer. Nick Mohammed, I believe, is his name. Where is this at? Get back here. Nope, not videos. Cast and crew. Here we go. Yep, Nick Mohammed. He plays Nate. Nate the Great. Isn't his picture wonderful? I can't believe I did that. Alright. So, yeah, he's the groundskeeper. when Ted and Coach Beard get out there, and he's usually the guy that's like ignored and teased by the players on the team and that kind of thing, and then this is immediately just overjoyed because Ted would actually talk to him, because Ted's just that guy and gets so elated. But yeah, I mean, they peel back the layers on him a little bit, and then they also give him this other. There's a scene when the team is getting their pep talk, but their pep talk is like is salty by design. Like this is what you need. This is like what you're doing wrong. This is what you need to hear, and ends up being delivered by Nate, which is such a great moment. And I really like his picture that I have here that I can't believe I deleted, but okay. And I'm remembering this though. This is a bummer right here too. So, well, lightsaber works though. Yeah. So from The Mandalorian, one of the things that I was very hesitant about from the first time they mentioned her name they spoke her name before they showed her was Ahsoka. That was when I started dreading them making The Mandalorian into a Rebels sequel, because I wouldn't mind having more, but I don't need it to be in a show that I already like for its own storytelling. And Ashley Eckstein did such a great job with the voice, and still, so there's like, where is it? Not loyalty, I guess, in some way. You're like, but then when she's introduced, it took 2 minutes of seeing her in action before I gave her the GOAT status with a lightsaber. Like previously, it was Darth Maul, Ray Park's Darth Maul, and because it was acrobatic, but it was also hardcore, and it was angry, and you could see that in the movement. Because if you look at like the original films, of course, are great with the lightsabers, and very different style, basic, except for I'd say she's the GOAT with it as a character. But I think my favorite lightsaber moment is Darth Vader on Bespin, when he finally is just like, he has had it with toying with Luke, and he's just swinging for the fences because he's so kind of methodical up to that point, and then he's just like, F it, and he is just, that's still going to be my favorite of all time lightsaber, anything. But as far as a character wielding it, Ahsoka. So Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, just phenomenal. Good job. Don't you like your picture that I deleted by accident? Yeah, and she's great, I think, in that character. We'll go to the last picture I deleted and then go to these other two that I didn't. So right here, let's see if I can get her name right. So she's from Mythic Quest. She plays Poppy. Charlotte. I don't know how to. Nicdao. Nickdow? Is the C silent? Nickdow? Charlotte plays Poppy. Because she kind of plays what would be. She's just, her character's just put upon. She's kind of the center of the show, and even though Rob's character leads that company, I would say he's one note, but his severity and all of the just craziness that goes on in that office, in that company, just all kind of hit her, because he's in charge, but he's aloof and doesn't really take responsibility for anything, and so she has to, kind of falls to her, And you just see her take that ride through that whole series, which is great. So fun to watch. And then there's a moment between them. They do I guess production got cut short by one episode, I believe, because of COVID, and they did a Zoom episode, which is phenomenal. And they did a scene, I don't know how or if they faked it, where it's just it's very, very moving. I won't spoil it. Go watch Mythic Quest. Apple TV Plus, if you just do, or Apple TV, just do like a free trial and watch that show, Mythic Quest, watch Central Park, watch Ted Lasso, whatever else I mentioned in here, Greyhound. But yeah, Defending Jacob as well. Chris Evans is great in that. But moving on, we are going to go to Robert Sheehan. Umbrella Academy. Klaus. It's been a while since I watched the show, and you can see his little, the show, and these images from the show, this like pink umbrella he's holding there, kind of, I think it's from the pilot episode. And I like, as soon as I started watching it, I'm like, okay, I know this guy's going on my best of list for the year. I need to go back and watch both seasons again, but yeah, everybody's great in that show. Everybody does something, I think, kind of special with their characters, but there's something about him that really and he does something different. And I mean, he's written, obviously, I can't spoil too many things if you haven't seen it, but he's on a different journey in the second season. But yeah, he does such great stuff with everything. It's all the nuances, the little things that he really sells and takes advantage of in ways that don't seem overdone. They seem, get out of my shot. Look at her. Where are you walking? Are you trying to say that I should build a bridge there? Yeah, move along. Thank you. Yeah, great performance. So, but I think I'm gonna say my favorite performance of the year. Let's do this, and then let's do this, and let's do this, and then let's do this. No, I can't, because he's there. There we go. Let's just sit down with Keon Alexander. I hope I'm saying his name right. As you can't really tell, maybe sort of can. Marcos Inaros on The Expanse. The Expanse wasn't on the lists for 2020 because I don't think all the episodes will be out in 2020. It won't be, no, because we're still in the season going into next week. But so far so good. But he does a monologue, a speech in a scene in, who's in my shot? This lady. Beat it. What is she doing? She chilling? She's listening. Oh, she's eating. What in the snap are you eating? Can I eat in this game? I'm gonna have to get over to the town square and get my grub on. Damn. He gives a speech that, honestly, like, I almost was tempted to go start auditioning again. Like, every once in a while something comes along and I'm like, I should go audition for a play, even if it's just local, because I'm like just so amped up about acting again. And that, holy cow, season 5 episode 4, just when you get to it, hit me up, honestly. Just so good. And I think he is my favorite part of this season, he and Amos. But I think Amos comes in just under. This dude is just killing it in this role. And yeah, loved it. So that was, what a bummer. I live and learn. If you delete the image from your library, then paintings of it Yeah. All right. Moving on. I think we are at TV show, film. So. All right, streaming. Because that is what this year, it is the year of streamer. Been a big part of me staying sane and productive, and honestly unlocking this, like, this venue, being, you know, and the tool that is like OBS, being able to like do the live stream and throw like images in and whatever and talk about stuff, because you don't have to just stream with this software. You can like record. It's like an Instapot for all these different things, and like I can throw graphics in there and image. I mean, if you're streaming, you know what I'm talking about. I'm speaking to people that don't know. And for me, someone who's like what I usually do out in the world, like this is huge. Like I can take all of these elements. I could still do live streams. I could do more well-produced kind of video segments, like I used to, all that stuff to kind of pull everything together. So this has been huge. So yay for that. Yeah, but it's also like got me into the world of gaming, and the streaming community, which has been kind of huge this year, and reintroduced some things. But we're going to start with what I think is not necessarily entertaining, but like most important thing about it is community. Not the greatest image, sorry dude. But Shadow Gamer, let me see if I can get his actual numbers here. And I did on Twitter, Twitter at twitter.com/chasinggeekdom. The tweet that I put out tagged him in it. So you can check it out, but let me figure out a way. I'll grab my keyboard here real quick. So Shadow Gamer, I'll tell you why he's great. Twitch isn't great at recommending people to watch, especially when you start. What they do is, Shadow, where are you, buddy? There he is. Okay. What they do when you first get there is like just try to push you into where they're already making money, which is like the Nick Mercs and the dude bros of it all, you know, like the Call of Duties and all this stuff. And not that the game is bad, but just the culture around it and those types of, I'm like, no, dude, like, and so I had to really start doing my research. But then once you start following and subscribing, and like they see your, okay, and then their suggestions get a little better. I think I found Shadow Gamer probably in a forum somewhere, maybe. But it's Shadow Gamer 23928. Let me see if I can get his thing in the chat here. What's great about dude, I think the most important thing about this is community. And there's two things that I'm grateful for finding Shadow Gamer is, first of all, he's very, very positive. Like in his, what you're looking at there is an image of his like stream starting soon screen, believe it or not. Hard to believe because it's just the translation in this whole, it's not meant to be super great, but super positive. And you know, in his like stream description, it's like, you know, talks about just chill stream and having fun and making friends, and it truly is that. And it's such a great vibe. And let's see. Shadow. I'm gonna see if I can do this right. I don't know if you have to do the HTTP stuff when you put a link in here, but 23928. Let's see what happens. That work? It does, yay. Okay. That's very good. Okay, so you can see it. So yeah, go. So I put his handle there in the chat. Definitely go check it. And just positive. And then I think the other side of it, community wise, is he built a Discord server, which is, if you don't know, Discord's like kind of an extension where people who find you there here on Twitch or elsewhere can kind of go and follow you and kind of chat together when their favorite streamer or whatever isn't streaming. But one thing he set up was, it's a great little community and it's very supportive of other small streamers. And every time you go live, he set up a little channel or thing in that Discord where every time you go live, it puts it up on that channel so that people know. You don't have to go in and like post it yourself or whatever. You can, but it goes up automatically, and it's all very supportive. If you watch one of his streams, you see people come in and it's just people respond to positivity, and it's very cool. And I have the guitar there because wait, hold on, you have to put that away. Maybe if I go, because he's a rock star. That's right. Sorry about being cheesy. But yeah, go ahead to that link, give him a follow. Also, the voice is it's as deep, I would say, nearly as his Corpse, or some of you may know him as Corpse husband. I can verify it's not him because they were streaming at the same time today for a little bit. But yeah, it's very, yeah, people compliment him on it a lot. So it's very ASMR kind of thing. But anyway, it's just, I think, again, the most important part of that, the gaming and the Twitch and all the things, is just the community and people supporting each other. It's fun. And speaking of positivity, let's move on here. Who was that? Good old Z Laner. Z Laner is one of the rare Call of Duty streamers that I'll watch. Reason being is that community is can be rough as far as toxicity goes. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there are always exceptions, but by and large, and I've come across quite a few of those exceptions. But hey, Cooking, how you doing? Happy New Year, almost New Year's Eve and all that. Thanks for stopping by. So Z Laner, yeah, he's I'm good that you're good. I'm good you're good. That's awesome. So if you didn't know, I'm going over like favorites from this year. Right now, this is the last bit, which I'm going through streamers, top 5 for me for the year for different reasons. Shadow Gamer, who I linked there, just for sheer positivity and support for small streamers. And then now I'm talking about Z Laner. Z Laner's a Call of Duty like master, and I discovered him playing with, am I allowed to say his name on this platform? He is a doctor who specializes in something of the disrespect, and playing with that streamer who formerly was on Twitch but now is on YouTube. Z plays on Facebook, but they play together. The great thing about those two that has helped me, I watch them while I work, and I need to delve more in to see Z playing with other people, just because I'm could use more of that kind of. He is very positive, he's very team oriented, he's very uplifting to his teammates, a lot of communication. So like while I work, I can watch/listen, and it puts me in the right mindset. Not to mention, he is incredible. Like, he carries the doc, honestly. Doc showboats and puts on a show and like gets all crazy and kind of gets a little out of hand. So you'll see, like, I think the last match I watched in Warzone was Z had 29 and Doc had 9, and they, quote unquote, won that round, but it honestly was Z. But Z's great, and has a great singing voice as well. But definitely recommend Z. Him and basically his team ups with the Doc are a highlight, just because they really helped me get in the mindset, like, while I work, of like teamwork and multitasking and going and staying positive and all of this, and it weirdly was effective for my actual like day-to-day work flow, which seems odd, but I'm definitely going to check out more of him. And again, he's on Facebook. I think he started looking into like going to YouTube maybe, but I believe he's still streaming on Facebook. Yeah. And my favorites of the year are all kind of related in a way. And we're gonna pop a squat here. Just kind of, I set this up. So, favorite thing of this year, and it's not just in this category, but it is in this category. There are 3 things here, even though there's 4 signs. The 2 in the back there, Vince and the little guy that's cut in half, are related. But starting with the guild, kind of center left there. The guild as a show back in 2000, was it 7? I was in my acting in LA hustle, back and forth between LA and San Francisco and LA and San Francisco, because to earn a living acting on the screen up to that point, it really was like, at least to my knowledge, you really needed to get into the broadcast TV stuff. There was no streaming. It was very limited. Commercials, yeah, sure. Industrials, sure. Ish. Those were the ones that I dabbled in a little bit. I had a commercial agent like in LA and one in San Francisco, different times. And as much as I wanted to do that work, it was just kind of like, it was heavy thinking like that's the only work. If I want to do this kind of, if you want to get to the high caliber quality content, you need to get to that. And it was kind of true, because the indie stuff was it's always so artsy, and it's a lot of times didn't make sense. But then the guild came along, and that was the first time I saw, it was a web series. It was on YouTube originally, and I was like, this is good. And it had fans, and it had, like, it was the first time I saw something that, like, I'm like, I could make something like this or be a part of something like this and see it, potentially sustain a living. Like, and I could see the potential of it growing and more people using this type of platform. So not only was I entertained by it, I loved the show, but it was like a pressure was lifted. So it means that show means a lot to me. And in the same way as, like, the first time I heard Smells Like Teen Spirit and was like, oh my God, that's what music is. And the first time I saw Good Will Hunting and was like, oh my God, I want to, like, I was already doing theater acting. Like, I want to work with the camera. I think the next time something came along after that really put a foundational element into, like, creative part of my life was the guild. And a lot of that to Felicia Day, obviously, who's rocking that cyberpunk wig. We'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, guild, as far as this year, what was so great about it was they started this thing on Sunday nights where they would the guild games together, and they were doing Dungeons and Dragons. So like, sorry, I'm gonna take a little drink here. Sorry. It's like another season almost. So especially when they do the D&D, they bring in like a different dungeon master every week, or every time they do it, and they would play under their names from the show. So in the show, if you're not familiar, it was a basically D&D type guild group, the Knights of Good, that played online together, and then the show was kind of about them coming together in real life, and so them kind of reuniting was such a great kind of reminder of the potential again of streaming content and all of that. It was just so nice to get more, from them and more of them, if you will. And then of course, I think so. That's the top thing. I think the guild games together, that Sunday night streams, so is top of my list. And of course, there are, things that branched off from that. So like a lot of them are streaming now. One of whom is Mr. Vince Casso, and Casso. I should know that. I watch so much of him streaming. That's him with big hair. Good job. All of them are great. You should go and follow. Vincent, Sandeep. Robin hasn't started yet. Jeff Lewis does. Amy Okuda does. And and of course Felicia does her own like solo streams. She's been playing Cyberpunk, which has been fun to watch because it's like she's addicted, and it's nice to see someone who's like a game grab someone like that, because she keeps having these surprise streams. But anyways, we'll get back to that. Vince, this dude is like, there's a lot of skill when it comes to, I think my favorite thing is, of course, is watching him. He brings other friends into play and streams Among Us. That's why you're seeing the ham bone here. Good job. Vince and his trail of dead people. But he's, when it comes to hosting, I think just really great. Like he's a good host, not only for people to watch, but like the people that he brings into the game to play. He's great at it's like a dinner party. You would imagine the dude would crush it. He streams Monday through Thursday, kind of evenings ish, playing a lot of Among Us, but once in a while, I think, was it Dead by Daylight, and was another one that was scary, can't remember, recently. But just that dude is, it's nice to see someone who like really has taken to it. And then again with Among Us, just you learn a lot about the game, and it's not a game that I like watching many people play, but for some reason I just keep coming back to watch him and those homies get together and kind of next level mind that game. But very much enjoying that. Big time highlight of 2020 for me. But we can get back over here to rocking my content creator hero. But more specifically, thing that I love about this year, because she's responsible, I would say, like, pulling things together and all for a lot of the the guild stuff this year. But I love that cyberpunk wig. I had a different picture there before, but I changed it because I had to get that bright orange in there. It was a picture of the Discord server. So top 5 thing in streaming this year is of course, her streams. I love her solo streams, but I really, really, really love the Discord servers, like the community aspect. I've been in some others, and the ones that I'm still in right now are great, and positive people, that kind of thing. But the nice thing is I'm not 25 or even 30 something, and so it's nice to be in one where it's a more mature group, people I can relate to with all of the geeky things. So it's that's been a real treat. And some of the other, like, there was one other one that I went in, it joined early in the when I first got on Twitch, unrelated to guild or anything like that, and I'm like, oh, this streamer I can see having in common with, so I would imagine that they're kind of the people they bring in. And then suddenly it became like average age maybe 20, and just I could not understand most of what was happening in it. And I'm like, I can see you all are happy, and I'm happy you're happy, but I'm gonna go. But favorite, like, of all of the ones that I've been in, definitely Felicia's big highlight of this year, just because, again, engagement. When I created this whole Chasing Geekdom thing was like 5 years ago. You know, the big reason behind it and reason for it was engagement. You know, like, yes, I want to create content, yes, I want to be out having the shenanigans and do photojournalism and interview people, which I've been doing, but it's at the core of it is engagement. And that's something that I found on Twitch more than anything, somewhat on YouTube, but like in that Discord server, I think has been one of the great highlights of this year. So definitely very grateful for that. But yeah, that sums that up for sure. Good job. Yay. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, definitely been a weird year, but again, as I've shown, some great stuff. But yeah, that's my shell bed out there, by the way. Yeah, there have been some good things, you know, making the best of the year. I think a lot of us have done well at, you know, it's been kind of trash, by and large, but again, you know, it's a mindset, what you kind of focus on. So things that I wouldn't have worked on if I had been a normal any other year, you know, I was able to I saw them eating. Can I eat? Do you have something to eat? This is that jerk that tells me that my island is only rated at something. So my countdown here in St. Louis is 4 hours, 4.5 hours away. Oh, speaking of, okay. At 7:30, 8 o'clock, I have a virtual concert to go to for New Year's. Pink Martini. I'm gonna get my boogie on, and they're performing a concert in their kind of home base in Portland, and bought me a ticket. Love that Pink Martini. But yeah, I think that's yeah, my faves of 2020. It's been a cool year, honestly, like for online stuff, and in particular all of the streaming and gaming and engagement and connections made there has been pretty great. Next year, so next month, meaning tomorrow, no, I'm thinking I would find a nice 30-day period, and I take a chunk out and plan out and promote some fun streams like this. Kind of took a breather there for a minute, did a real long run of a lot of streams for about 4 or 5 months, and got a little burnt out, but ready to get back into it again, I think, in a week or so. I'm gonna try to plan out some things. Definitely gonna do some more Fortnite, some Tony Hawk, maybe a VR. I think I'll look super silly if I do so, but whatever. And yeah, but I will tweet it out. I'll try to actually make a schedule now, though, and stick to it, starting probably the second week of January. And I'll post it in all the things. But make sure to hit a follow and turn on those notifications so you know when I go live. But yeah, Happy New Year. Wait, I think I have party poppers to pop. I'm gonna see if I can get my friends here to do it too. Grab one. Right, hold. Nope, they won't do it. Do it in her face. I'll do one in her face. No. Get out of here. I don't want to talk to you. I want to put this in your face. Because you always... I'm not celebrating you. You always tell me my island is trash. Alright, I like you though, homie. Yeah, let's celebrate Tom Nook. And then do that. There you go. I don't know why she's happy. She's always telling me my island is terrible. Whatever for her. Let's do one more. There you go. Party. Like it's whatever. You know the tune. As usual, the channel is Chasing Geekdom. Again, hopefully my shenanigans out in the world with theme parks and races and comic conventions, those are a thing, will happen again in 2021 sometime at some point. One more time through the channel trailer. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's have a way better year in this new year. Peace out.